All right, guys, today I wanted to talk about the Carmelo Anthony case again because his parents have given their first round of interviews since he has been convicted of murdering Austin Metcalf. He's been sentenced to 35 years. He is eligible for parole after serving half of that time, and so that's why, while a lot of people are happy that he got convicted on murder, not manslaughter, there is kind of that feeling where it's like, well, if he were to get out on parole 16, 17 years after the fact, that doesn't feel like enough. But unsurprisingly, Carmelo's parents do not agree at all with the verdict, but not just because of what the verdict ended up being, but also the whole process. And it's just very mind-boggling, kind of the excuses that they've been making for their son, on behalf of their son, and some of the, in particular, their feelings towards how the trial went. And you're gonna see that a lot of the same, I mean, just straight up lies and falsehoods about what went on in the trial is being repeated by his parents. So this is from CBS News in Texas.
Jury found his parents dispute their son ever wanted to kill Austin Metcalf.
My son is no murderer. My son didn't intend to hurt anyone. My son was defending himself. And that's what hurt so bad.
His mother recounts the moment she addressed the jury and made her plea to them during the sentencing phase.
To have mercy on my son. That's what I told the jury. I know they had their minds made up already, so, I mean, really wasn't much I could say.
I mean, okay, so right there, it's this weird excuse. It's this weird coping where it's just like, well, it wouldn't matter what I said. Their minds were already made up, and she doesn't go into why. Why were their minds so made up at that point? Seemingly, right? Because they reached a verdict within only 3 hours. Well, it might have to do with the fact that the evidence was so overwhelming against Carmelo. I mean, over like 20 witnesses were called. I mean, again, and I said this in my last video, this wasn't a case of if Carmelo did it. He did do it. It was pretty undisputed, even in the immediate kind of aftermath of this murder taking place. But it's just crazy that, because they were there during the trial, that they could sit there, listen to all of the witnesses and all the evidence, and still just say, well, the jury made up their mind, so that's why, it didn't matter what I was going to say, because they just wanted to hurt my son. And again, look, you can kind of understand a little bit, because it's like, well, these are his parents. Of course, they're going to be heavily biased for him. But a good parent should also recognize that when their son or their daughter, especially in a criminal matter, should acknowledge the guilt, if obviously that person's guilty of what they're on trial for. And again, this was not in dispute. So it's just very frustrating to see this play out in the way that it's been playing out. And there's a lot of people, particularly in the black community, on social media. I've been seeing it on X. People have been posting videos from TikTok where they're saying that this was clearly self-defense. I mean, it's just this bubble that has always existed when it comes to these cases. But again, this is a pretty clear-cut case of Carmelo being guilty of murder.
Changed her mind.
Both parents fighting back emotions and tears as they described what they believe was a flawed trial.
We were delusional. We thought we was going to get a fair shake.
See, okay, right there, yes. I would agree. It is delusional, but not in the way that he thinks he was. Saying that they didn't get a fair shake. Again, speaking to the speediness of the trial and how quickly it wrapped up, instead of being dragged out for a long time. I mean, there is a lot of doubt as whether or not the person who's being accused of is guilty. Again, that just does not apply here at all.
They claim there were inconsistencies from the get-go, despite witnesses who took an oath vowing to tell the truth.
Everyone actually lied on the stand.
Everyone.
All of the witnesses' statements were inconsistent. All of them.
Okay, so they say all of them were lying, which is like, wow, 20 people, including witnesses called by the defense who ended up helping the prosecution's case. all of them were just lying, and all of them were inconsistent. Okay, well, they didn't list any inconsistencies there. They might have explained some inconsistencies, but CBS News didn't air it. If they did, I highly doubt they did. They're just saying, well, they're inconsistent. So, I mean, they're just throwing everything up against the wall to be like, well, we didn't get a fair shake. Everyone's lying. The trial was too fast. Their minds were already made up. And again, if you're sitting there objectively and you're listening to all this, your mind would be pretty made up pretty quickly too, to make sure that this is indeed how things played out in this case.
His father says the court of public opinion had made up their mind about his son long before the trial began.
He was convicted when he walked out of the jail. If you looked at the news all last year, he was already convicted. If you look at it, it was already done. It was no innocent until proven guilty. He was already guilty.
He says the threats of violence against them continue.
People want us dead. That's what.
After they still got what they wanted.
After they still got what they want, they still want us dead. I can see, you see, I go look at my phone, people want us dead. They want our family dead.
And now they're preparing to appeal.
They did a number on us.
A judicial process they believe wronged them.
We didn't get justice. A lot of things that were missed that should have been handled a certain way. However, we couldn't say anything. We did what was instructed. We was told, so we just did what we was told.
Ken Molestina, CBS News, Texas.
And yeah, look right here with my son didn't intend to hurt anyone. Okay, so then why is he bringing a knife to a high school track meet? I mean, again, with this idea that there wasn't intent behind this stabbing. I mean, the stabbing right to the heart area, and he was pretty accurate. Considering it was only one wound that was fatal, you just don't buy that. No one can seriously buy that excuse of like, oh well, he didn't turn to hurt anyone. He was just but he was defending himself. Well, usually in a case of self-defense, you are trying to hurt the other person, but it is normally in regular circumstances, it is justified to hurt that person because they are actively hurting you. But that wasn't what was happening. A shove is not an excuse to kill somebody. It has to go, the fear of danger has to go so far beyond that. And again, this idea from Karmelo supporters saying that, well, he was being ganged up on, that was not proven at all in the trial. Again, one of the defense witnesses who initially said that, yeah, Karmelo was being surrounded by these crowd of white people, his testimony was proven to be unreliable because he didn't even see that initial part. His back was turned. He only saw things when the stabbing occurred or shortly thereafter. So every time we see all of these reasons or excuses, it was not held up in the trial, and everybody, all the reliable reporters who were there have all said the same thing in terms of just how badly the defense case was and how badly it went for them and how the prosecution, obviously they did. I'm not saying it was an easy thing to accomplish, but once you laid everything out, it was pretty clear what exactly happened. And then you see just social media posts like this where it's just gloating. It's just gloating that the fact that Austin's dead and then Karmelo will get out of prison. I mean, maybe you never know what happens in these things, right? I mean, I can maybe. With the race wars that happen in prison, although right now it's been reported that Karmelo is not in general population, he is sequestered away from that, probably for that case. Because I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the white gangs inside the prison might want to try to make an example out of Karmelo. Not to say that's inherently a good thing, but that's just how things go, unfortunately, in those cases. And so, good friend Rob, cope however you like. Which, I mean, this is all they have. All they have is just to make their remarks on social media. And at the end of the day, what they really wanted was Karmelo to walk, and that didn't happen. So they have to just resort to garbage like that. And then you just have tweets like this making just these absurd comparisons, trying to make it seem like, oh yeah, see, all these non-white people who have killed black people, quote unquote, wrongly, they got less time than Carmelo Anthony. It's just all garbage. Like, all of this is just garbage. And that's what you got to recognize. But of course, I mean, look at that. It's got 48,000 likes, and remember, this is just on X. And I wouldn't be surprised if, other platforms like TikTok and Instagram, there's a lot of other posts similar to that, similar to this one right here, that has similar, if not more, traction. So that's where we're at with this, guys. I suspect it's not going to be the last time we're going to be talking about this, but thankfully, for all intents and purposes, this chapter is kind of over for now. So if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. We got a really good field assignment coming up here next week that I'm excited to show you. There's going to be a good video about that. So make sure to subscribe, hit the notifications for when that's released, and I'll see you at the next one.